You know what I just stumbled upon? There's this TypeScript library called Wcwidth-O1 that optimizes character width calculations for terminals.
Wait, really? I didn't think character width would be such a big deal. Why do we even need this?
Right, it turns out that when you're using fixed width terminals, the width of characters can really mess with text alignment.
That makes sense. I mean, if you think about mixing Latin characters and CJK, you definitely run into alignment issues.
Exactly, so this library provides O1 lookup time for character widths, which is pretty impressive.
O1, like constant time regardless of input size, that's a clever optimization. How does it handle different character types?
It categorizes characters into width classes, like wide, half-width, ambiguous, and so on. Pretty neat.
So a character like Chinese letter counts as 2 columns, right? But what about emojis like smiling face with smiling eyes?
Good question. Emojis also count as 2 columns, which seems fitting since they take up more visual real estate.
That does feel intuitive. But I wonder, does this mean there's a trade-off in complexity for users?
Definitely, managing all those character classes adds a layer of complexity, and users have to be careful with ambiguous characters.
Ambiguous characters like some punctuation can switch widths depending on context, right? That's tricky.
Yeah, the library defaults to 1 column for them, but it can be 2 in CJK compatibility mode, so you've got options.
Speaking of options, how does one actually implement it? It sounds like it's simple but packed with features.
You just import it and call functions like Wcwidth for single characters or Wcswidth for strings. Super user-friendly.
That's awesome. But what if a string has multiple character types? Would it calculate everything correctly?
Exactly, it correctly totals the widths based on the mixed content, so things should align perfectly in the terminal.
Now that's a programming win. But is there any downside to using this library?
Well, one downside could be performance in scenarios with huge texts, despite the O1 lookup.
True, if you've got millions of characters, even O1 could add up during frequent calls, right?
Exactly, also not all terminals might support this feature, so integration might vary.
Those are good points. I guess it's always worth testing in your specific environment before full implementation.
Absolutely, but it does make me think, how widespread is the problem of character alignment?
I bet it's common, especially among developers who work on international apps. They might overlook it.
For sure, and with globalization, getting character rendering right is crucial for user experience.
That could also lead to accessibility issues if not handled properly. Some users might find it frustrating.
Exactly, if lines go haywire, it won't just look bad, it could confuse users trying to read the content.
Wow, this has really opened my eyes about something I took for granted. So many layers to text representation.
Right, and considering the Unicode standards definitions really adds to the requirements for developers.
I love that this library addresses such a nuanced issue, making it user-friendly in the terminal world.
And it seems like a classic case of a small fix with a big impact, especially for global software.
Totally. It's fascinating how a subtle detail like this can dramatically improve usability.
And the beauty of tech is that constant improvement comes from these little revelations, right?
Absolutely. I'm curious to see how this evolves in the community. Will we see more optimizations like this?
I hope so. It's all about tackling the hidden quirks in our digital world. What's next for us to explore?
I'm thinking we should dig into more practical implications of Unicode handling in programming languages.
Great idea. Let's unravel more layers of this fascinating subject in our next chat.